I mean, if you've ever been at any level part of a negotiation,
No, never.
there are moments where you get word of what the other side is offering or saying, and it can be absolutely gut-wrenching.
Infuriating.
When it's not what you want it to be.
Exactly.
Or at least like within the realm of what you would feel is respectful. And I'm not saying, in fact, she clearly stated that this didn't get disrespectful. She was impressed by the way the 49ers went about the negotiation because it stayed private. But yeah, there are moments where it's a gut punch. If you're like, we want this, and they're like, well, we want to do that. And you're like, that's where you are? You want to do that? So I get it. I get the way that this all felt. Here's one thing that I did feel, though, over the last 24 hours, and now it's been 26 hours since Nick Bosa signed. And you and I both sort of had the same feeling yesterday. Second he signed, it's like, okay, boom, clear the decks.
Yep.
Got a season, and the Niners are going to be awesome. And I have no doubt that the Niners are going to be really good, and I have full understanding why everybody is expecting, demanding, hoping, whatever word you want, that the 49ers have a really good season. As you said just a short time ago, no excuses.
Yeah.
I agree. However, as soon as Nick signed, everybody went, oh, okay, Super Bowl. Well, hold on. Like, how about 1-0? Or how about get off to a good start, which even their teams in recent years that have been really good did not.
Yeah.
Did not. I think you're setting yourself up for disappointment, potentially anger, if your mind is already in January before a season even starts.
See, I look at it differently because if you're heading out on a road trip, you have a destination. And in this case, your destination is Las Vegas. So when you're driving to Las Vegas and it's an 8-hour trip, I've done it, maybe 7.5 if you only stop once, you know your destination is Las Vegas. And that's what this team's destination is. That's where the Super Bowl is. So it's okay to say, we're going to Vegas. We want to go to Vegas. But when you set out on the road, you know that going from here, you have to go through Oakland. You got to get through Dublin and Livermore, up and over, and then you get on to I-5 and you hit on down to Patterson and all the rest of it, and you got to decide where you're going to cut over. And there's a spot where you can cut over between Fresno and Bakersfield where there's no traffic, and you get on 99, you go to Bakersfield, then you go to the Tehachapi Pass, and you get all the way down to, I think it's the 10 or the 15, and you head east, and you're there.
Where's the thermometer? Is it in Baker? Baker.
I think you hot? Yeah, it's hot. I think you bypass Barstow when you go from here because you go to Tehachapi. But the point being, there are stops that you must make along the way. There are checkpoints. There are cities. You don't just go from here to Vegas. Oh, we're here. And it's the same thing with the Niners season. Yes, Super Bowl. That's where we want to go.
Get it. I totally get it.
And the first thing you have to do is pack the car. And then you got to gas up the tank, and then you got to start on the road.
And I don't know about you, but when I get in the car with the kids, the first question is, where are we stopping?
Well, who has to go pee?
That too.
I mean, before we even back out of the driveway,
the answer
have
is,
you all peed?
The answer is, we are going to pee in Pittsburgh. That's where we're going. So let's focus on that.
Yeah, although you should go through Livermore. Going through Pittsburgh is a little out of the way. That's Highway 4.
I have a coffee.
Yeah.
We are going to stop in Pittsburgh, and then we'll have lunch in L.A., okay?
Okay.
And then
somehow Santa Clara.
Probably
Seattle.
Right, we'll have gas. We need some not have gas. We'll get gas.
Okay.
You might have gas, but let's get gas.
Crack a window.
Thank you. Okay? And that's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm not debating you on this.
I know.
Right?
I know.
My mind, I'm so excited / interested. This is an interesting game. And I guess one thing I've noticed, and you sort of got my mind there when you said it before the show, you're like, oh, they'll beat Pittsburgh. They should get this one.
They should.
Wow. Like, I guess I can look at any 49er game outside of at Philadelphia this year. I could look at any Niner game and tell you that on paper, they should win it. They should be favored in all of their games, right? Okay. But we also know that that's not the way an NFL season goes. This is absolutely a losable game. And all the things that we think we know about this NFL season, we should know that many of them are wrong. Like many of the things that we're saying right now. I just told you the Lions are going to be good. I might be very wrong.
Sure.
I might be very wrong. So I wonder where everyone is on that idea. Like, is there a chance? I know what the roster looks like. Is there a chance that in some way, shape, or form we're wrong about something with the 49ers?
It's possible, but I wonder what that would be. And I asked you yesterday, like, where, short of injury, where that would be somewhere where they would go wrong. And you mentioned the quarterback, who we still don't know a ton about. He had 8 starts last year, and he went 7-1 as a starter, and that's great. And the other thing I think you and I both kind of agreed upon was either the secondary or the offensive line. You have a new right tackle, and the interior 3 is still somewhat unproven in terms of experience and all the rest of it. But other than that, your running back is on a Hall of Fame course. Your left tackle is a Hall of Famer. Your 2 wide receivers are both incredible, one of whom is already highly paid. The other one is probably going to be highly paid. Your tight end is the 3rd highest paid. Your edge rusher just became the highest paid defensive player in history. And your linebacker, who keys your defense, is also among the highest paid at his position. Your secondary, you've got a lockdown corner and all the rest of it. So when you look at just the players and then the coaching staff and then the division, you got no excuses. There's no reason why you can't win 10 games minimum, no matter what.
Well, 10 games.
No matter what. No matter what. No matter what.
No matter what.
You lose your quarterback, big deal. Win 10 games.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You lose your tackle, big deal. Win 10 games.
Big deal?
No, he's a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
But you could still, I mean, Kyle could scheme it up and stuff, and you could still be able to make it work.
I don't know.
You have so much talent. Now, if you lose like 4 or 5 of the aforementioned guys to injury, well, now it's a different conversation.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know what this is going to look like. I just know that some of the things that we're worried about are going to happen.
Right. Some of them, but not. Like what happened in New York a couple of years ago where you lost Bosa and you lost like 3 guys to ACLs in the same hour.
But don't you think we can take this even beyond injury? Like, can you imagine that something this year with the Niners does not look like you currently think it's going to look? And
like
I can answer
discounting
that.
Injury?
No, yes, discounting injury.
The only thing to me would be Brock Purdy is ordinary.
Okay, so you have no questions about the secondary.
I mean, they're going to be okay.
You have no questions about right guard.
No.
None?
I mean, the right guard is probably going to be good enough. I don't think all of a sudden you get your right guard going. Your offensive line last year was really good. Not the best in football, but good enough to where you could run the ball, you could pass protect. You were good enough. And if any of your offensive linemen short of Trent Williams is showing that they're not doing very well, they're coming out. Yeah. They're going to get replaced. You got John Feliciano, a veteran who you could plug in at any of those spots.
Let's go to Diego and Marin. Hey, Diego. Thanks for calling Willard and Dibs. What's going on, man? What are you doing?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just had a question and a comment about the Steelers game.
Yeah.
What do you think would be more encouraging? 3 made 40-plus yard field goals or 3 touchdowns from Purdy? And my comment about the game is that the Steelers' best opponent last year was the Eagles, and they lost 35-13. So I'm expecting that to be around the score of this game.
All right. Thanks, Diego. You asked sort of, okay, the kicking game versus Purdy. I mean, this may sound like a silly answer. I'll take Purdy because 7's more than 3, but we didn't bring that up, and it's a very fair thing to bring up in this game. What if the kicking situation is a problem this year? What if a kicking situation is a problem just in this game?